everybody, this is Blue. I hope everybody's doing good today. I got to give a quick note because I talk with my hands a lot. Um, I am not flipping anybody off whatsoever. I have an infection in my finger and I had to have surgery on it. They removed the tendon out of my middle finger on my left hand, and with that one missing, I can't make a fist anymore. And so I'm in a permanent flipping people off stage, even though I don't want to. As you can tell, it's a little crooked right now because it's still in the healing process. I'll be able to get a brace and straighten it out down the road. Earlier this week, I saw a video by Red Quill, and then Squirrel Plays also did a video talk about making maps and all that. And I like to make maps. I am doing a massive project right now about making an atlas, just like what Red Quill is doing. And I decided, well, I might as well put my 2 cents in on this. So the worst thing is, I think they go a little bit overboard or over-prepare. In Red Quill's video, he was talking about specialty inks that change colors if they're hot or cold and all that. Don't do that. Okay, first, do whatever you want to do. If you want to do it, that's your thing. My opinion of that is, if something's got to be cold, and we're talking about paper here, and to change the colors and all that, what's the easiest way to do that? Well, let's get a glass with some ice on it, okay? And we put the glass on the ink and, ooh, it turned blue. But the bad thing is, what does a glass of ice do when it's hot out? It has condensation on it. And so if you do this, you could be getting condensation, water, on your maps. And you know how paper can stain, smear, and all that if it gets wet. It could get fragile. You can easily tear it. And so I don't believe that these specialty inks are worthwhile. Most of us are adults. We don't need to see color changing ink on our maps. Okay? They were also using some elite brand names to do maps, and I'm a little bit cheap and all that, and so I think that's just a waste of money, because I can go to Walmart and get colored ink pens. Okay? What's my brand name? Papermate. And these are just gel ink pens. And so I bought this one set, and it cost me $13. And I got all these pens and a few more I couldn't pick up. And I'm good. I got the colors of the rainbows. I got a brown and all that. And for making the outlines, I just use simple Bic round stick black ink pens. Okay? Why make it more difficult than it needs to be? The only person you have to satisfy, on the most part, is yourself. This is your world. You do it your way. So if you do want that fancy ink pens, go for it. But you really don't need them. So, gotta grab my cursor there. Red Quill stated, some good facts on his video, and so do watch it. He does have some good advice. One of the things he said was to start off with a base map. This is my base map. I actually have a 2 poster board map. It's basically 4 foot by 3 foot on my wall, and it's of this map here. I actually made the wall map, used some tracing and transferring it to make it a digital image, and so this is the map of my world. Red Quill is doing an area. Oh, how cute! I believe in doing worlds so that you can change up. You can have different groups in different continents, and each one can have a more unique feel. So, and you can see I got deserts, mountains, different hills, lakes, islands. Now, this world is just a little bit smaller than Earth. Some of those islands that you see on the bottom are the size of Texas. Okay, so I have a large area to create, right? Well, I like binding paper cone binders to make these. This is one of the books that's going to be involved in my atlas. I have a total of 3 because they don't make cone binders that big. So the first one I made, because I make paper forms, blank forms, and I mass produce some. I form books where I can fill them out as whenever I want to. And this will hold the general information about each nation, the name, location, type of government, capital, key cities, population, languages spoke, resources, shortfalls, and then an area where you could put some brief history. So I can take this with me to work, and I can grab a random page and fill it out, and I can make a good filled book at any time I want to, and in the end it just adds to the world building. This is roughly 120 pages. I also have the maps that you were seeing inside my book, so that I can create themed maps whenever I want to, such as this one. I'll put a little closer. You can see some blue crosses on there. Those are locations of abandoned cities, so that I can, just open this up at any point in time and tell the guys, you're here. There is an abandoned city in this location and another one here. Are you going to go to them? And so I can do all that. The one other thing that I think, if you're going to do an atlas, a world atlas like I'm doing, and that is create a political map as well, such as this one. Let's see if you guys can see it. That has the political of my world, but I have numbers assigned so that you can. It's easier to memorize that. Okay, this continent has 1 through 40. This one has 41 through 70, and this one has 71 through 120. And so then it makes organizational skills a lot easier. But this is kind of the political people information. My other books that I have one that's strictly about the islands. Islands that are not their own nation, they're part of a bigger land mass. I've created maps for. And like I said, these are pretty darn easy maps. Let's see if I can get that. And this is actually all I'm going to be making at first. Like I think I said that I'm going to be doing some sandboxing adventures. So we want just an empty map. And as myself or the guys adventure, we're going to roll the dice on our encounters table, and we might get a result like a ruin for something, or you come across a small town. We can then add that to the map, and so the map is always being added to. It's always new. The more we adventure, the more we add to the map. And so we got all this open area because, you know, like this is just an island here. We got all this area here. I can just put it right here. I can assign everything a number, and you know, a number here on the island, then a number here on the side, and say that is like the town of Bagali. This is the ruin of the Jakarta temple. I have, and you can use any map icons you want. So you can put like a map icon and say this is a battle site. Maybe there's undead in the area, or you can have it where it's haunted, and under certain days you can see a reenactment of the part of the battle. And so that is what I'm going to be doing. And then I got the bigger book. This is 120 pages. Well, 122 pages. Again, just like for the islands, you could see the green outline. That's to show where the wooded areas are. And I don't want to color anything in. I want colored outlines for like wooded areas. And then I got the light blues for freshwater, dark blue for ocean. I use brown ink for the roads. And so, like I said, if the guys roll a 12, they would go to Pothwild, and that's where they would adventure. And here's the map for it. This is the part that I am looking forward to when I get these mostly done. I will have an area map of every square inch of my world. Doesn't matter where you want to go, I will have a map already made of it. All I have to find out is where they were wanting to adventure, grab my book, open it up, and there's the map, guys. You want to go somewhere else? Fine, I got a map there too. And that is the convenience of it, which also in game time, you know, there's less preparing that you'd have to do because you already got the map and all that. You can grab that at any time. 121 nations, because there's one that they'll never go to. Viravana. It's a small island nation and all that. But I have a D120. The plan is, you know, when the guys make their group and all that, we're still doing session 0. It's just like, okay, guys, let's figure out where you're going to go. Who's going to roll for location? One of them is going to roll. I will not. And, you know, whatever number they have, that's where they're going. So if they roll an 86, that's the page I opened up to, they're going to go to Lyle. And Lyle is on the coast. It has half of it is coastline. They have a couple islands, and that's all we'll have. And then they will adventure, and we will fill out the map together. This is a lot of work. It is. This will be time-consuming, and so if you like crunchy games like I do, I play Rolemaster. This is the way to go, because you know, once you get these books built, you have them for the rest of your life. This is the advantage of paper over computer, I believe, because, you know, it is so easy to just go, okay, I need Nations of Tarthena, pull it out, and you got your maps, you got your atlas. Computer files can be corrupted, lost, and all that. And so unless there's a fire, I have my maps for the rest of my life. I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. You do you. You can make your maps as artistic as you want. If you want to spend hours just doing this little area and, you know, limit it to that, do it. But if you want to go big, you know, put the effort into it. Go big. Okay, that's what I'm doing, because once it's done, I'm set. And you can do this for any type of section in your RPG. I have a book. Just one second. I have a book called Species Law. Here it is. I am creating my own world with my own races. And so I don't like doing cookie cutter. Like all dwarves are dwarves and they have these traits. Screw that. So I have Species Law. Again, this is about 100 pages. But I created the forms like I want. This has your stats, special abilities, heights, resistance rules, all the basic information that you need, a good stat block basically of whatever race you're wanting to do. And then the back is my standard lore sheet that I print off. And so you could put a lot of information on here. And then, because I can, I have artwork for them. These are computer generated, artificial intelligence, generated images of each race that I have in here. And so, gotta find a nice one here. Come on, go to a picture. I can go through here and I have 50 races in this. So this is a somewhat dark race. They are bald, highly magical, and I can put any information I want on there, and I am. While I have been doing that work, when I got the free time, is I will just open this up and I would write a few, a paragraph about that, about whatever race that entered my mind. The other night I was bored at work, and so I just was open up the book and I was just flipping pages and decided, yeah, let's add this about the Gulmar. And so I wrote, a couple paragraphs about the Gulmar. Gulmar in my world are basically my version of hobbits, halflings. Dwarves are called stonedards. I have 5 variants of hobbits. Each one, with a little quirk to it. I don't have elves, I have Quen. I got centaurs, but we call them equans. So by doing all this, I am able to make a unique world, and it's moderately organized, as you can see. So I rambled on long enough. You can do a lot if you got the patience. You can be as creative as you want, as big as you want. Just remember that it can be a little overwhelming, and sometimes you don't think you're getting much done, but it comes in spurts. There are some times where you could sit down and spend a couple hours, working on the game, and then the next week you might be able to get 20 minutes in. But have fun. If you are artistic, you want to do this, do it. Embrace it, because I'm enjoying this. And so I better end the video. I'm almost at 20 minutes. I hope I've given you somebody some ideas, maybe cleared out a couple areas of confusion. So everybody, please take care, be at peace, and see ya.